All right, so today we're going to be diving into the 5 love languages. This book
Yeah.
has sold over 20 million copies,
Yeah.
which is pretty wild.
It's huge.
It's a lot of people. So there's obviously something there that's resonating with people,
Yeah.
but is it worth your time? That's what we're here to figure out.
Yeah.
So, I think a lot of people recommend this book when you're maybe early on in a relationship or you're just feeling a bit lost.
Yeah, if you're trying to figure things out or
Yeah, like what is this whole thing?
yeah, exactly. Like what even is love and
Is even real?
is it real and how do we do it?
How do we make it work?
How do we make it work? How do I make this person happy?
Yeah.
And the book promises this kind of straightforward approach to
Yeah.
understanding your partner's needs.
Practicality. That's always good. Nobody wants to read like a textbook.
Right, like a relationship textbook.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not in school anymore. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, like, I'm a little skeptical because isn't love a bit more complex than just 5 categories? Like, are we really going to put...
Yeah, is it that easy?
Yeah, is that easy?
I think that's a really common reaction to the book.
Okay.
And actually, I saw that reflected in a lot of the reviews that I was reading on Goodreads, where
Right.
people were like, it's too simple,
It feels reductive a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Yeah.
you're putting people in boxes.
Yeah.
But I do think where the book shines is in its clarity.
Okay.
Like it does take this concept of love, which can feel really abstract and overwhelming,
Right.
and just kind of breaks it down into 5 tangible things.
Okay.
5 ways that we might experience love.
Okay. Yeah.
So those are words of affirmation, quality time receiving gifts,
Okay.
acts of service, and physical touch.
Okay. So it's almost like providing a framework for understanding how people feel loved.
Yeah, exactly.
But how does that actually, like, practically translate to a stronger relationship?
Well, imagine this, right? You're constantly showering your partner with compliments. You think you're being super loving,
Yeah.
but maybe their love language is acts of service. And so what they really crave is for you to just help out around the house.
Right. So it's not landing,
It's not landing.
even though you have good intentions.
Exactly.
Right.
So the book is saying when you know what your partner's primary love language is,
Okay.
then you can express your affection in a way that actually truly resonates with them.
So it's like speaking their emotional love language.
Totally.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So less about these grand gestures.
Yeah.
And more about the everyday things.
The everyday things that actually make them feel seen and loved.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I could definitely see how if your love language is completely different from your partner's,
Totally.
you could be trying so hard, but it's just not.
You're missing each other.
Yeah, you're not speaking the same language.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that can lead to misunderstandings and unmet needs, even when both partners really do have good intentions.
Okay, so you're saying even like small changes in your behavior can have a big impact.
Absolutely.
Like just making more of an effort to spend quality time.
Yep.
Or just being better about expressing appreciation
Yeah, just saying thank you.
can make a difference.
Yeah, and meaning it,
Yeah, totally.
Like one of the reviewers that I was reading
Okay.
was saying how their relationship drastically improved when they just started actually listening to their partner
Okay.
instead of always offering solutions.
Right.
And it turns out their partner's love language was quality time.
Oh, wow.
And so just that feeling of being heard made them feel loved.
Interesting. So it really is about the small things.
It's the little things.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the writing itself.
Okay.
Because some of the reviewers found it a little repetitive,
Oh, yeah.
especially this whole love tank thing.
Yeah. The love tank.
Like, is it really that simple?
Yeah. So that's a core concept in the book, this idea that everyone has this emotional tank that needs to be filled with love, and you fill it by speaking their love language.
All right.
Some people find that really helpful,
Yeah.
but I think others, as you said, find it a little simplistic.
A little cheesy.
Yeah, a little cheesy.
Yeah.
Are we cars?
Yeah, exactly.
Do we need to be filled up with gas?
Yeah.
And I do also have to bring up this point that I saw a lot of reviewers raising,
Okay.
which is that they felt like Chapman sometimes oversimplifies complex issues,
Okay.
particularly when it comes to unhealthy relationship dynamics.
Okay.
And there was this one example I think that a lot of reviewers brought up about this woman whose husband was verbally abusive.
Oh, yeah.
And Chapman's advice was for her to just speak his love language, which was physical touch.
Oh, wow.
Which is, yeah.
That's a little concerning.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
And it definitely highlights some of the limitations of this book.
Right. It's not a cure-all for everything. Yeah. And I think it's important to remember that this book is not meant to be a guide
Right.
for solving every relationship problem. It's a framework, but it doesn't get into the complexities of abuse.
Right.
Situations where, like, professional help might be needed.
Yeah, totally.
It's more of a preventative measure than a you're already in it.
Exactly.
But I am curious, is this concept only applicable to romantic relationships? Could it be useful in other dynamics, like friendships or family?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And I did see some reviewers mention that they were like applying these principles to other relationships in their lives.
Okay.
So think about your closest friend.
Okay.
How do they show they care?
Okay.
Like maybe they're always there to lend a listening ear.
Right.
Or maybe they shower you with like really thoughtful gifts.
Right.
Those could be expressions of their love language.
Oh, wow. I like that.
And understanding that can strengthen your bond.
Oh, that's so interesting. I've never thought about it that way. I'm already, like, analyzing all my friendships in my head.
Yeah, totally.
Like, my sister is always, like, doing favors for me, even when I'm like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's her love language.
Maybe acts of service.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah.
And realizing that can help you appreciate those gestures even more.
Totally.
It's about understanding the different ways that people express and experience love.
Right.
Regardless of the type of relationship.
Okay. I'm into this. I like this.
It's kind of cool.
It's kind of a mind-blowing concept.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic. This book was published a while ago.
Yeah.
Has it aged well? Does it hold up in, like, today's world of modern relationships?
I think that's a really crucial question to consider.
Yeah.
And that's where I think some of the criticisms start to get a little bit more pointed.
Okay.
Because the book is very much rooted in traditional values.
Okay.
It focuses on heterosexual monogamous relationships.
And there is definitely, like, a Christian undercurrent to the book.
Okay, so it's not going to resonate as strongly with readers who are maybe looking for a more inclusive or nuanced perspective on relationships.
Exactly.
Like if you're polyamorous or in a LGBTQ plus relationship.
Right. It's just not going to speak to that experience.
Yeah.
It very much reflects the social context of the time it was written.
Okay.
And in that sense, it might feel a bit limited for readers who are seeking guidance on non-traditional relationships or looking for a deeper dive into, like, the psychological complexities of modern love.
Right. It's not going to have the answers to everything.
No.
Yeah.
It's very specific.
So it's kind of like a product of its time.
Yeah.
But potentially still valuable for certain people who are looking for just that, like, basic understanding.
The basic framework.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I was thinking about, it's kind of like those classic black and white movies.
Okay.
They might not have the flashy special effects of, like, today's blockbusters, but they still have, like, valuable storytelling.
I love that analogy.
Yeah. It's classic for a reason.
Yeah.
But it might not be for everyone.
Okay. So to sum it up, is the 5 love languages worth the read, or should we skip it?
It depends. It depends on your expectations and what you're looking for.
Okay.
If you are looking for, like, a straightforward, accessible framework for understanding how you and your partner give and receive love, it could be a valuable tool.
Yeah.
But it's not a cure-all.
Right.
And it has its limitations, particularly in its scope and approach to modern relationship dynamics.
So not a must-read for everyone, but maybe worth considering for certain readers.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So, for example, like, how does this book compare to other relationship advice books out there?
Yeah.
Does it offer anything, like, truly unique?
You're right. The self-help market is flooded with relationship advice.
It's overwhelming.
Can feel really overwhelming. I do think what's interesting about the 5 love languages is its longevity and its impact.
Okay.
Like, it has resonated with millions of readers.
Yeah.
And even if the concepts seem basic, I do think there's power in clearly naming and understanding these different ways that we experience love.
Right.
And it gives couples, like, a shared vocabulary.
A shared language for love.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So even if it's not groundbreaking or earth-shattering, it could be a practical tool for couples who are just, like, struggling to understand each other.
Exactly. It's about providing that framework, that starting point for those crucial conversations.
Okay, I'm getting a clear picture.
Good.
But let's get down to, like, brass tacks.
Okay.
Who would you actually recommend this book to?
Okay.
And who should maybe steer clear?
I think the 5 love languages could be really beneficial for people who are relatively new to relationships.
Okay.
Or for those who feel like they're constantly misunderstanding their partner's needs despite their best efforts.
Like they're trying.
They're trying, but they're just like, why is this not working? Like, I'm doing all the things. So it's like a roadmap for effective communication.
So if you're feeling lost and confused in the relationship department, this book could be helpful.
Yeah, it could provide some clarity.
Okay.
And if you're someone who appreciates like straightforward advice and practical tips,
Yeah.
this book delivers on that front.
Okay.
It's not bogged down in complex theories or jargon.
So if you're seeking that clear, actionable approach to improving your relationships,
Exactly.
this is a good starting point.
Yeah.
On the flip side, I'd say skip this book if you're already well-versed in relationship dynamics and communication techniques.
Right.
If you've done a lot of reading, a lot of self-help books, couples therapy.
Yeah, you might find this one a little basic.
Yeah, no need to reinvent the wheel if you've already got it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as we mentioned earlier, if you're looking for a more nuanced or inclusive perspective on modern relationships, this might not be the best fit.
It's a little bit more old school.
It's a little bit more traditional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the ideal reader is someone who's seeking that basic, clear, practical introduction to love languages.
Yes.
And they're going into it with a realistic understanding of like...
the limitations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a magic solution for everything.
No, it's a tool.
Yeah.
But it's not the be-all and end-all.
It's not the Bible of relationships.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. So this has been like super insightful.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I feel like I learned a lot.
Me too.
So thanks for guiding us through this deep dive of the 5 love languages.
Yeah, of course.
And for our listeners out there, if you're on the fence about reading this book, think about what you're hoping to get out of it.
Right.
If you're looking for a quick, easy read with like some practical tips on how to improve communication,
totally,
it might be worth checking out.
Yeah.
But if you're seeking like some deep, in-depth analysis of complex relationship dynamics or a really nuanced perspective on modern love, you might want to look elsewhere.
Yeah, there are definitely other books out there.
Yeah, for sure.
That are more in-depth.
And remember, even if you don't read the book, the concept of love languages can still be a valuable tool.
Oh, totally.
Just for reflection.
Yeah.
Like take a moment.
Yeah.
Think about how you feel most loved.
Yeah, what makes you feel appreciated?
Yeah, what are those actions or words that make you feel truly seen and cared for? And once you figure out your own love language, think about how you can better understand the love languages of the people around you.
Yes.
So it's all about that awareness and understanding,
totally,
both within yourself and in your relationships.
Building that empathy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Making a small effort to speak someone else's love language could have a bigger impact than you think.
Totally. I think so.
So it's worth a try.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive of the 5 love languages.
Yes, thank you for having me.
We hope this has been helpful and that you're ready to put these love languages into action.
Go spread the love.
Until next time, happy connecting.